In today's life, money makes the world go round. There's a constant push to have more things, to buy this or that, the newest cars, the biggest, newest homes, and then fill them with all the new things. Today's society is constantly draining our wallets and our time, because the more we spend, the more we have to work. Prices on everything have gone up exponentially in the past few years, leaving so many people scrambling just to get by. So I thought I'd share with you a typical day of how I save money at home as a frugal homemaker. How everyday choices can help us save money. I start my day off making breakfast for my family. A very typical breakfast around here are sourdough pancakes. If you're looking for the recipe, I will make sure that I include it in the description box. My family absolutely adores pancakes, but sourdough pancakes are their favorite. I make sure that I top it with berries from our garden as well. And it has been so hot out, so getting the outdoor chores done first thing in the morning is typically a good idea. All of the raspberry patches that I have are really in high production right now. I am starting off picking the black cap raspberries that I have growing in my front yard. They are really abundant, and if you have never grown these native black cap raspberries, you must try them. They are so good. The hybridized ones are typically bred to give you the biggest berry, and I find that sacrifices flavor. This is specifically a native variety, and they produce small berries, but they are incredibly delicious. They have a really nice floral scent. And if you've seen what berries cost in the store, not to mention organic local berries, the amount of money that I save on fruit by growing a lot of it at my own house is a ton of money. I have many different fruit bushes as well as fruit trees here at my suburban house, and that just means that I am constantly harvesting things all through the summer and fall season. And right now, it is time for raspberries. This is a spot beside my house that was kind of wasted space when I first moved in. There was a bit of a garden here, but it was very dingy and not a lot going on. So I decided to fill this area with raspberries, and it has done so well. It is so productive. So I'm very happy with this raspberry patch here. I typically get enough raspberries per season that I can have lots for fresh eating as well as for freezing. For raspberries, I don't bother making raspberry jam with them. I prefer to have them frozen for winter smoothies or on top of ice cream or things like that. I just prefer them that way. There's so many other fruits that we do that I can make into jams that I like to keep my raspberries just as they are. If you're looking for a very easy, very abundant fruit to grow, I highly suggest raspberries. They are so easy. You just stick them in the ground in a place where you can just let them spread, and they will give you so much fruit. After this, any laundry that I have, I like to get it washed and then out on the line to dry so that it can dry really quickly in this hot weather. Drying it out in the sun, in the wind, is free drying, so I'm definitely not using my dryer right now. It's funny, recently I've had a couple people comment on my videos that I don't hang laundry properly. And to that, I just say if it's hung up and it dries, it is done properly. So I'm not sure what they mean that I don't hang my laundry up properly. It's quite the odd comment to have. Next, like I said, I have tons of gardens growing, so I am using the rain barrels for free water to water all of my gardens. And anybody who's with me in February and March, when I started these planters with seeds, they are doing so well, and I am so happy. This year was the first year I decided to do my planters all by seed, because buying plant starts at the store can be so incredibly expensive. I find that I end up spending at least a couple $100 just on plant starts. So I spent about $50 on seeds, and I did all of my planters, and they turned out so beautiful, better than any of the store-bought ones that I have purchased in the past. Now I have to make sure, again, in the morning I am going around and watering all of my containers. I have a lot of pumpkins growing in containers this year. I'm hoping to sell them in the fall. So I'm making sure that they are getting lots of water to hopefully produce lots of pumpkins. After this, I went inside and my kids were really wanting to make some popsicles. Normally, I love to make lemonade popsicles for them, but we had some oranges that were starting to get pretty old and needed to be used up. So we decided to make some orange juice popsicles with them. I recently got this juicer from Facebook Marketplace for $10. It was missing a piece, so I got it fairly cheap, but it works just fine. I just have to make sure I hold a glass under the spout. So we got all of our oranges juiced up, and then I made a quick syrup from water and a little bit of sugar just to add a little bit of sweetness to these oranges. And then we just got it mixed up and put into the molds and into the freezer. If you have not tried making homemade popsicles with your kids, I highly suggest it. Check out Pinterest. There are tons of recipes there, and it just can be so creative, and you can make some really fun popsicles. My kids really love doing this, and it adds a nice cool treat on those really hot days. Not to mention, this is a fun activity for them to do as well. So if you've got bored kiddos, you can help them make some popsicles, and that's just a great activity. I've said before how staying home is the easiest way to save money, and I truly believe this. So we try to stay home as much as possible. We've made the space so we really enjoy it here, and we just hang out here. We might bike around the town or do things like that, but staying at home is really the best way to save money. Avoid going to the store at all possible. I also focus on homemade pretty much everything. So homemade meals and homemade snacks, as you can tell. This way we are saving a lot of money, and the ingredients are what I choose. After we are done our popsicles, we have a lunch just from leftover turkey burgers that I had made. And the kids were looking to get out of the house, so we took a quick scooter ride down to the local river so the kids could fish. This is a fairly cheap activity for us. Technically, it does cost a bit of money because they are fishing with me, so I do have to have a fishing license. I can't remember how much it cost. I think it was $75 for 3 years. It's not a lot, and I do know that once a year or twice a year, they have free fishing days, so you can fish without a license, or at least kids can fish without a parent with a license. So there are those days if you're looking to try fishing. Just look into your local board and see if they have those days available. But this does get the kids out of the house doing something active and something that they really enjoy for a fairly low cost. After that, I make sure that I get those raspberries in the freezer so that absolutely nothing goes to waste. And then it's time for cleanup. I try to be really mindful of the utilities I use. So sometimes the lights are off and the AC is not always going, even on those hot days. I make sure that the curtains are closed and the windows are closed first thing in the morning, and then we have fans. As for dishes, the dishwasher tends to use more water than hand washing, so I will often just hand wash those dishes, especially if they are large. And once again, I most definitely do homemade meals 99.9% of the time because they are just so much cheaper. Today, it was a barbecue day to keep the heat out of the house. So I am doing up some cabbage steaks, some baked potatoes, and some pork chops. Saving money at home does not have to be a lot of effort or look like a lot of effort. It can be simple things as walking to the park or making homemade meals and homemade snacks and just making sure that you're mindful of your utilities. It does not need to be super difficult, and it is so easy to do. And living like this has not only helped us to save a lot of money, but it's helped me to be able to stay home with our kids. And then we just end the day with a board game night or some other activity that we do at home. Sometimes my kids love to play tag outside as well. What are your favorite ways to save money at home? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. If you're looking for a lot of ways to save money at home, make sure you check out the playlist that I have linked here. There is tons of ideas there for you. Thank you for joining me today, guys, and I'll see you next time.